So if you were not here for this lecture on the Industrial Revolution, we are here is how you can get the active listening notes in the side. So Industrial Revolution doesn't just start one day. Things are going to lead up to it. So the agricultural revolution really has to happen first. So what is the agricultural revolution? It is basically changing agriculture in Europe and eventually the whole world. So it starts with this idea of enclosures. You can see in the picture here, it's kind of what you're used to nowadays, where everything is kind of fenced off. So enclosures were when wealthy landowners wanted to fence off land to kind of specify what they owned and everything. But this is going to have a lot of effects. So one thing, when they close off all their land, it takes away common land that people use to graze their animals, maybe grow their own crops. So this common land wasn't around anymore. So people who relied on that for their living now either have to work on a organized farm or have to move to a city. Also, though, this is going to lead to more productive agriculture. They're going to start tinkering with crop rotation, which is a method of farming to restore nutrients in the soil. So rather than growing cotton every year on the same land, they're not going to be growing the same thing every year, taking out the same nutrients from the soil. They're going to be changing what gets grown, and some of these plants are going to restore like nitrogen or other nutrients to soil. Think here in Sonoma, we have obviously a lot of wineries. They will sometimes grow like mustard or something in these fields to restore nitrogen to the soil, make it better. Also, there's going to be lots of inventions in this time. So there's going to be the seed drill, which is a machine that helps grow more crops. You can see it in the bottom. It just makes it more uniform, makes like straight lines, making sure that crops are separated enough to where they can get maximum nutrients. So all of this agricultural revolution is going to lead to the industrial revolution because one, it's kicking those people off of common lands. Two, now that's more efficient. They don't need as many farmers. So those people need jobs and they're going to be moving to cities in search of those jobs. So causes of the first industrial revolution, it's going to be the scientific revolution where there's big emphasis on science and a lot of new inventions come out of that. There's going to be the rise of capitalism and the enclosure movement in England. So why England? Out of all places in the world, why does it start there? So England has a lot of advantages. They have a lot of natural resources. They have lots of access to water, both with the ocean, but also just with rivers and streams. They're also going to have a lot of coal, which is going to be needed for a lot of these factories that are coming up, and iron, again, being used for the factories and the machines. As I said, lots of rivers. You can move your products and move them around the world a lot easier rather than having to do everything by land. Also, lots of harbors and ports. So again, that's kind of the same idea, being able to ship all these things you've made to new destinations. And then we are going to start seeing the first factories established in England being like textile factories or clothing factories, where sort of your modern idea of a factory, hundreds of people working in one place towards the same product. So there's going to be two periods we're really looking at. There's going to be the first and the second industrial revolution. The first one, as you can see, 1760 to 1840. So this is also going to be like an advantage for America coming up because they are being formed right in this industrial revolution. So they can be at kind of the forefront of a lot of these technologies while they're still forming a nation. So major characteristics, is going to be lots of factories. There's going to be a lot of urbanization, large number of people moving to cities for jobs, creates building boom. So these cities are going to rise very fast, but in a future lecture, we're actually going to see why that is not necessarily always a good thing because of bad living conditions. There's going to be the steam revolution, so steam engines. That's going to be one of the biggest inventions because it allows for all this power for railroads, for ships, for factories. And then, as I said, lots of technological innovations are going to shift work from humans to machines, but then people have to operate those machines, right? Then there's going to be the second industrial revolution, 1870 to 1914. So this is going to get more towards mass production and assembly lines, where it's like you are doing one specialized thing over and over and over. And then this is going to also be aided by something called the Bessemer process, which made steel making a lot more efficient, a lot more high quality steel was being produced. So these buildings can go higher. These products can be stronger, can be better. These factories can be better and stronger. This is also the time when we're going to really see electricity starting to be invented and electrical grid systems being installed. And we're going to see technological innovations continue to shift even more work from humans to these machines. And lastly, why is the Industrial Revolution significant? It's going to change almost everything about modern life. It's going to change the way people worked, where they lived, what they would do with their free time, because these machines are freeing up a lot of free time, the way we eat and what we eat, the way we communicate, the way we travel, what we can afford to buy, relationship, how long we live. It's going to change almost every aspect of life. So that is why we are studying it for this unit. All right, and then make sure you do your summary, and you do have an exit ticket today. I just have not written it yet.